Welcome back, guys. Got the trunk camper with us today. That's why I got it, to get to some more remote spots. This is kind of a busy spot today, being a weekend and beautiful weather. All right, let's head on out here. We're back up on the rim. Got the dogs on the leash right now because the area we're at right now has a few people walking around. All right, calm down, buddy. All right, spinning around. All right, so we're at Woods Canyon Lake today, and on my last video, we're at Willow Springs. And if you recall, I mentioned the lake 2 miles away where there was rocks thrown in the water. I found large footprints. Well, this is that lake, Woods Canyon Lake. Now the campgrounds are closed this year, but the road's open. And because there's no snow, and it's right on the edge of the rim where there's a lookout, there's quite a few people here. Well, this time of year. Boy, hold on a second. Let me stop this. Okay, so we're back up on the rim looking for the Mogollon Monster. Just filmed a video at Willow Spring. Like I said, in that video, we were a couple miles away from Woods Canyon Lake, 2 or 3, as the crow flies, where rocks were thrown in the water. I found huge bipedal footprints in the snow. This is that lake, and as I said, the campgrounds are shut, but the road's open, and you're getting a lot of people up here from the valley. That's Phoenix, coming up because of the weather and the views. Crazy views, as you can see on my opening. Just let the dogs out from the drive from the desert up to here, so they're kind of wound up. Hey, 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 hey! Come on back here! Barkley! Oh, he locked onto something. He is way gone. You can see him way up there in the trees. All right, we're gonna have to go get him. That's the direction I'm going anyway. Just took him off the leash. He's got a long way to go. Come on, buddy. He's coming back. Like I said, he is wound up. So this history has many BFRO sightings here. As I said in the last video, if you haven't seen that, check that out. It's the last one. This past week. Still haven't got any more snow than you see here, which is a good thing. Well, bad for the forest, but good for us. Not so much at finding footprints out here. Come here, buddy. Stay close. Come on. Come on. Stay over here. Good boy. All right. We're heading this way up through the tree section here, going towards the spillway of the lake. Haven't been here in I want to say 13, 15 years. It's an old pop can with the pull lid. Wow, that is old. All right, let me get the leashes back up. Head on out. We are at about 6,800 feet, 7,000 feet elevation. I'm hoping we don't have human contamination today. I wanted to come up and do this quick video because of the history and the weather right now. Outstanding weather. Not good for the forest though, but good for us. Still a little bit nippy. Not sure if they thin these woods out or not. I can't say really. But appreciate you guys coming, following along. My dedicated viewers, I really appreciate you guys. So if you're new to the channel, I am Scott, the Alaskan Bigfooter. I travel from Alaska throughout the continental U.S. filming. Here I'm in Arizona, filming a little series on the Mogollon Monster in the winter, because a lot of areas of Alaska are inaccessible. Then I'm going to go up north, up the coast. And that's Pearl, my Portuguese water dog. She's 5, and freshly 1-year-old Barkley, the wound up one, who's a golden doodle, just turned year old this past Thursday. So the lake has a little bit ice, but is not frozen over. We're gonna work our way down to the lake. Now this is a completely different lake from the last video. So some of the BFR reports here is people have been in boats along the shore, and boulders the size of bowling balls were thrown in over their head. And being irritated by it, they got up and rushed up the hill, and there was nobody in sight. And that happened a few times, actually. Not to these individuals, just that once, but different time frames. So we're going to do a quick one here today. So I just thought it would be right to come up some good weather and film, see if we come across anything odd. Seems like we do all the time. This is the campground I stayed at last time. There's numerous ones, one larger one, but this is not it. This is the closest to the lake. I stayed here. I think this is the last time I tent camped. Nice ridge. Super quiet. I think everybody that hiked off up the hill where I parked went off some hiking trails towards the views off the rim cliffs. But I am not seeing a person here, which is quite awesome. Yeah, 13 years, 15 years since I've been here. Probably closer to 15, but of course nothing seems to change. Nice campsites. You can see the grills they provide. That's unique. Besides the, and that's a really nice one too. Grills for each site, and a metal table. Pretty decent sites. Get your pit toilets and dumpsters. Your normal spacing between camp spots. But I did find up this road here, kind of back up this way is where I saw the tracks in the snow. And I'll kind of show you what I saw. I'll make them here. It was up between, kind of like between a back road like this, and there was kind of like now keep in mind my shoes are 13s, so it was kind of like this. I have photos somewhere, but it was super wide, kind of like that wide, kind of like that, but it was like one step up, and you know, not your normal human walking, kind of like that right there, all the way from a dry spot to the next dry spot, and it cut through and left its tracks. So okay, we got some deer and elk, which are big in this area. As we go by the pit toilet, good sign, no tracks here besides animals, so it doesn't look like we're getting people down here. That's really nice. Not too much contamination. Now you can see some tracks here. People have been coming through here. Just doing a quick glance to see if there's anything that sticks out. That's kind of a strange looking print, maybe. But I'll leave it up to you to decide. All right. Yeah, I camped back over that away a little bit. Very nice trout fishing lake. They got some big old trout in here. So I do see a fisherman over there on the far side of the lake. And there's a little bit of ice on the lake. It's a long way from freezing though. Long way from freezing over. So I see one fisherman. How he got over there, I don't know, and why he went to that side. So I don't want to do any whoops right here at least. But I'll show you the spot where the rocks got thrown over. It's right up here. It's right here on this cliff. Actually goes down further down this way, and there's some bigger cliffs right around that corner there. But up here there were some fishermen, from I could tell right where the spillway is, right here, and right here, and from the top of over the top of the trees. It happened a couple times. And they got out, went up there, not a person in sight. So, yeah. And then the snow tracks I had, and there was quite a bit of, I think they had a lot of vocals here. Footprints and quite a few vocals that the campers here at this site are hearing over the spillway. And that's the spillway. Back in this tree line out here. And there was loud, I've actually heard the videos. They're pretty intense. Beautiful area. Quiet. Like I said, they only see one person, and that's a fisherman. Well, he's still wound up. All right, so I thought I'd bring you this content because you never know what you're going to come across. And it's just nice to hike out in the nature occasionally, especially for the people that can't get out. So we're going to do a short jaunt today so we can get this out for you, and you can just enjoy some different scenery from if it's completely different from where you're at. Desert, East Coast, snow covered. I mean, some of those places on the East Coast right now in the Northeast, this is nothing compared to what they're going through. Of course, the desert, it's nice to be up in the trees and look down at the snow when you have a cactus outside your window. Stay here, come here. That's a bit of a drop off. With some rebar and old piping sticking out. Stay here. Pearl, Pearl, you know better. Come here. Hey, come here. Don't you need to go down there. Stay right here with me. This is where she's trying to stay here. Stay here. That's too close. Another spillway right here. Hey, hey, hey! Get away from the edge. Let's go down somewhere it gets lower to the water or to the overflow stream, which I've actually caught fish in down this way. Come on, Pearl. Pearl, come on. You seem to be wanting to go down that way, and that is not a good thing. Had one of my videos in Alaska where the dogs went off an edge. Come here. Come here. A sandy edge into a riverbank, which is just sandy. And we can go down this way. And I had to jump down to get them out. So hope these leashes aren't making too much noise. I'm just filming with my camera today because in case I need to zoom in, I got that opportunity. Because this is a high-end camera that I'm actually using right here. So when I got it, I might as well use it, right? So let's zoom in a little bit. So there's a waterfall right there over the spillway. You know, this is a good bedding area. There's plenty of water. These springs do not dry up like many of the others up here in these high desert mountains. I'm trying to keep my eye out for any movement. If you guys see anything, let me know. You always seem to find something. Yeah, I just enjoy coming out here in these areas that have BFRO reports and constant sightings and reports, and just to film. I mean, it's not just beautiful, but you never know what can appear. The wind's gusting through this spot. Might be affecting my sound a little bit. Yeah, I think this spotter just down is where I caught some trout out of the spillway here. Still pretty clear. Got a little bit of ice just wanting to form right there, just a little bit. I'm sure this is frozen over solid many a day. So this is a really beautiful spot right here. With some game cams out here, you probably catch quite a bit of elk, deer, mountain lions. All right, let's see if we can go up this snow and see if we can find any tracks. We had something going on in the last video, so suspicious tracks. Times like now is when something happens. It's kind of an odd shape. Or a few of them right there. And you got a few people tracks right here as we're on. Get down here a little bit farther and I'll do whoop whoop. Do a few more further up. See if we're getting kind of response. Because I think if anything's going to hang out, it's going to hang out along this. A lot of caves up in here. A lot of cliffs to hide behind, get out of the wind and peek out at people. Let's see if we can zoom in on that cave right there. There's one behind that rock. Could be something watching us right now. But yeah, keep in mind, I just don't go out in the woods and film. I come out to areas that have had legit sightings from credible people, credible sightings. So when you put yourself in there, in that situation, more than likely you're in a hot spot. Now that all the campers are gone, me and the tails here, the dogs, are the highlight of their moment. Because I believe they're so curious. Curious about these guys, especially. Like I said in the past, thought many times that they could be impeding me or blowing certain situations, but I'm coming to learn that it's actually the opposite. So this is where the screams have come from, up on that ridge right up there, along right up on the top there. And there's been quite a few screams and grunts and yells that weren't people. They were, because I've heard the videos, they are your atypical Sasquatch scream and yell and howl. So let's go ahead. I'm not seeing anything but people tracks, but let's go up this way where there's no people have been. You can tell by the tracks. Some more caves up in here. Overhangs. Work our way up where the people don't migrate to on these hikes. Come on guys, let's go uphill. Going up and around. Oh, it's kind of steep. Really ancient rocks here. Ancient. This is old forest up here. Very spiritual. A lot of native history. Whoop! Whoop! Thought I heard a whistle. Can't be sure if that wasn't a bird, but these you see these are laying on the ground a lot. Sometimes you see a lot of piles of these that are off the top of these pines. That is porcupines. Climb up these trees and they chew on that. And then these pieces fall to the ground, as you can tell. In some places you'll just see a bucket of them. A bucket's worth. All right. Keep watching my videos. I'll keep pumping them out. Like I said, if you see a Hairyman or Bigfoot in every video, it's probably not real. I'd rather just assume than to make false allegations. Ooh, big cliff. Actually, it's about 10 foot. Doesn't quite look like that, but it does go that far. Come on, guys, let's go back up his hill still. I'm not seeing any people tracks here. So that the people come up from Phoenix because they're either too hot and they come up in the summer, or it's too bland in the winter and they want to see snow, and so they come up here like now, but they'll keep it the easy point of access and easiest from point A to point B, and not go where we're going. So that being said, let's hike up in these woods. Let's go, Barkley, keep up. Now I'm hearing talking back up that hill. I'm gonna walk that way just for that reason. That could be people. That's a big ponderosa. Now some large tree bends, which is probably just the weather. And whoop, whoop. Good little echo going through here. You get the whoops back and the howls and the grunts and the bush shaking when you least expect it. So, but if you don't put yourself in this situation, guys, it ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna be able to film Bigfoot or find any signs of the Hairyman from sitting on my recliner. So that's why I do this, because I'm hoping to find, there's quite a few tracks through here, like an animal trail. If you don't put yourself out in an area that has numerous sightings, you're not going to have a sighting. At least you have, I don't know, 1% chance, maybe. That's better than nothing. All right, we're going to go over it on top of this ridge. I see some possible structures up here or tree falls. We're going to go back here, and there's something large came down here. Oh, gotta watch where you're going. You get an eye taken out. Well, this tree fell recently. Can't say it was snow that caused it, because not enough snow yet. Even though it's February in a couple days, we're getting closer to going up in the mountains of Utah again. We just came back from, but I didn't get any filming in. I was getting my truck camper and so forth, and trailer, getting it set for our wilderness hikes up in the Idaho and Washington, Oregon, northern Utah. Still looking for snow tracks. If I miss any, let me know. Right now I'm just seeing the dogs. Still working our way up. Let's do another whoop while we're getting close to the top. Whoop! Whoop! Keep an eye on Barkley. He likes to point out, as he did in the last video, there was something paralleling us. I could sense it, I could hear it, and they could too, especially him. All right, let's get back in a little bit of the sun. Pretty quiet today. Couple little possibilities, but nothing jumping out at us, literally. At least these areas here in Arizona, New Mexico is another area I want to film. I've spent a lot of time at northern New Mexico. As you got this open area you can just walk. Can't do that in Alaska, in the tundra or the southeast, you know, the coastal. You just can't do it. Watch my videos, guys. Watch the last one I think I did was the glacier. When I scaled some cliffs on the glacier. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Had a bunch of encounters up there. Alright. We're just gonna, I'm not sure where we're going. We're just gonna head this direction. Whatever feels right. Pick up the speed a little bit, get out of this wind. I don't know if it's affecting my camera. or my core temperature. All right, I think this is a good slot through this canyon. Right here's a little canyon. It goes through this way. Oh, man. Yeah, I still got the leashes. I thought I left the leashes. All right, we are back. I cut myself off. Yeah, I was checking to see if I have my leashes, and I could cut my camera off. A little interesting. Just sitting up on top. You know, if it's a person, they like to build stuff and make stuff that's obviously people stuff. So when you see stuff like that on a rock that doesn't look like a person quite did it, by just makes you wonder. Come on, Pearl. Keep up, babe. All right. Do another whoop here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, let's go this way. Still not seeing any tracks of any animals either, which is really bizarre. Just few and far between. Occasional snow rabbit, cottontail. Yeah, I know this is a short one, non-eventful one so far, unless you see something, but you never know unless you try and put yourself out in that situation. So again, guys, I do appreciate you following along. You regulars, I really, really appreciate it. If you guys ever want to help out financially, I mean, hey, I know times are hard. There are a Venmo site you can click on, PayPal, and Patreon. I have a Patreon site that you can give one time or monthly. Yeah, gas is getting really expensive for me now that I have invested in these vehicles for doing this. You know, it's my call, so, but I'm glad I did it. But it's gonna dictate a lot, not just the content where I go, but these dogs eat a special food for their allergies, and that costs a fortune. Plus campsites. I mean, I'm lucky I get a discounted campsite on the federal side. I'm blessed for that. I'm happy for that, but I tell you, it really adds up. I go in quite a bit of debt when I do these tours. But I love doing it. It's my life right now. I appreciate you guys following. If you can help out, that'd be great. If not, I'll get over it. I will survive, and I'll keep filming either way. See reflection up in the distance. I don't know if that's a vehicle or a sign maybe, but we were kind of out in the open here. I'm not feeling paralleled, so that's something. I mean, it's not good for the show, but I'm honest. I tell you how it is, how I feel. Is it a legit feeling? I don't know, but I just go with my instinct, and they're usually pretty right. All right, let's work our way out of here. Wind's starting to pick up pretty good now. Comes up over these hills off the rim from the valley up into the mountains. And it hits a little bit of the snow, and it hits you right in the face. Whoop, whoop. Keep looking behind you, as I always say, and above you. Those tree swingers. Never saw any people up here. When I heard the voices, there's literally nobody around. The only person I've seen besides the parking lot way back there was one fisherman. It's a deer scat. Thought I heard a knock or a tree slam over that way. Like a real dull thud. See if that picked it up. Great exercise though. That's how I keep in shape. Get a lot of those in Alaska. Missing Alaska right now, but I am not missing the weather right now. Dark and cold and can't even get on the trails. So, see the tree fall up there and something else shiny. So, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification, because that stuff really matters. You wouldn't think it is. You hear people talk about it on these YouTube channels all the time, but it really affects a lot. And comments too. You'll see I answer every comment, good or bad. I get my share. I just don't feel like I get enough. So if you get some comment and subscribe if you're just watching this through, because you know you get maybe 2%. So it feels like it's about 2% of people that watch these off the channel actually subscribe. You know, I'm guilty of it too. I'll watch something 2 or 3 times going, yeah, hey, let's go ahead and do that now. You know, 2 months later. Let's do one more whoop. Whoop! All right, guys. For Barkley and Pearl, I'm looking for the Mogollon Monster again on a quick hike. I appreciate you following along. I am Scott the Alaskan Bigfooter. And I appreciate you coming along up here in the White Mountains of Arizona on the Mogollon Rim. Our days are numbered up here, and before we start hitting future sites, but I'm not done yet. So that being said, keep watching. Just watch through. Pretty scenery, pretty dogs, and pretty man. So, hey, watch those comments. Anyway, looking for the Mogollon Monster again in a different spot. The only spot I haven't covered really yet has been the eastern rim. And maybe I'll get that way. I think I may be able to get that way on the way out of the state. Again, guys, appreciate you following along up here on the rim, looking for the monster.